आप अपने प्रॉफिट की सीमा कभी तय नहीं कर सकते। और यही एक प्रॉब्लम है सर। आज अगर रिलायंस पावर का आपने एग्जांपल लिया या इंडिगो का एग्जांपल लिया, मैं आपको ऐसे कई एग्जांपल्स बता सकता हूं प्राइवेट टॉकिंग्स में, जहां पर लोगों ने सिर्फ सुनी सुनाई बातों पे लिस्टिंग होगी, 40% गेन होगा, 30% गेन होगा। आप इसका क्या करेंगे सर? इसमें कोई रेगुलेटर क्या कर सकता है? क्या रेगुलेटर ये कहेगा कि आप ये पैसा मत तय करो, आप प्राइसिंग मत तय करो? तो आप फिर फ्री मार्केट का कंसेप्ट बदल दीजिए, फ्री मार्केट को खत्म कर दीजिए, आप रेगुलेटेड मार्केट ले आइए और गवर्नमेंट के पास सारी इक्विटी ओनरशिप दे दीजिए और गवर्नमेंट बोले कि इस प्राइस पे ये इक्विटी ऑफलोड करना है, आप खरीदो। वो आपको मंजूर नहीं है। आप एनएससी में पैसा नहीं लगाना चाहते हो क्योंकि उसमें सिर्फ 8.16% मिलता है। उसकी जगह पे आप कॉर्पोरेट बॉन्ड में जाते हो जहां पे आपको 14% मिलता है। जब कॉर्पोरेट बॉन्ड डूब जाता है तो आप प्राइवेट कंपनी को गाली नहीं देकर के सरकार को गाली देना शुरू करते हो। तो सर ऑप्शंस आपके पास हैं। आप अपने लालच की सीमा जिस दिन तय कर लेंगे सर, ये स्कैम्स और ये जो लोग आपको कभी भी, जिसको कहते हैं ना कि आपको धोखा नहीं दे सकते। सॉरी सर, मैं अगर थोड़ा हार्श हो गया हूं तो सॉरी सर।
Sir, my problem is different. What I'm trying to say, when you are allowing free market pricing, there should be some parameters.
सर मैं आपको बीच में रोकूंगा। पैरामीटर्स है सर, बुक बिल्डिंग मैकेनिज्म इसीलिए लाया गया। इसको डेमोक्रेटाइजेशन ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट कहते हैं। आपको अगर पसंद नहीं है तो आप उस शेयर में मत लगाइए पैसा ना सर।
Then there is another thing you see. I mean, you find in the morning there are.
You can't have the best of both worlds. सर ये एक इंटरेस्ट डिबेट है सर। अगर मैं आपसे चाहूँ तो अलग से करूंगा सर। अनफॉर्चुनेटली मुझे अभी तुरंत भागना है, तो इससे तो प्लीज अगर मैम प्लीज।
हेलो, I think we're just saying that this is the last ball of the match. I think because Mr. Sir has to catch the flight at 4 o'clock. He needs to rush to the airport. So I request, yes, Nidhi, please, your question, please.
Certainly we agree with what both of you said, but as a media educator here, who all of us are colleagues, we have a special challenge when we teach our kids in the class as to what they need to report and what they need not to report. And where should they draw a line? We've been teaching them laws, ethics, perceptions, everything. But sometimes the student is a dilemma. Ma'am, you're saying that we have to draw a line, but our editor is pushing us that news is a product and we are run down by the TRPs and the circulation. Then you are saying that we have a responsibility as a media person. So what to do or not to do, there is no clarity. As a media educator, what should we tell them? What should be the right thing to do and what should be the, deterrent?
Well, you interview a person, I would say to the interviewer, बहुत सिंपल सवाल पूछिए जो आप चाहते हैं, जो आपके दिमाग में उठता है। नंबर 1, नंबर 2, जो आप जानते हैं कि आपको पढ़ने वाला, आपको सुनने वाला जानना चाहता है। These are the 2 criteria that you should have in mind. You should not be, first of all, a judgmental. I tell you, one of the best interview that I think as a student of communication I have ever heard was the Prince Diana का interview BBC के ऊपर एक black ने लिया था, and where she admitted that she has committed adultery. He neither smiled, neither gave any expression of horror or any judgment. He continued to ask her as if it was very normal kind of thing. That is what I expect. When you interview, never nod. If you are in agreement or you are in disagreement, you are not expected to do like that. You are not asking for yourself, you are asking for your listener, viewer, reader. So that is what I would say. Stick to 2 things. Number 1, what you think that your reader, your customer, wants to know from this person about various issues that he knows. Thank you.
हम इस पैनल डिस्कशन में आगे बढ़े, इससे पहले शिशिर सिन्हा जी को
फ्लाइट कैच करनी है, उन्हें रिपोर्टिंग के लिए पारादीप पहुंचना है। मैं अपने बीच में मोहन गर्ग जी मौजूद हैं, उनसे निवेदन करूंगी कि मेमेंटो देकर हम एक यादगार और स्मृति चिन्ह शशि जी यहाँ से आप लेकर जाएंगे। मुझे लगता है कि आपको हमारी ये दोपहर जरूर याद रहेगी, कोई कहते हैं शाम याद रहेगी। अपना इतना कीमती वक्त निकालने के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद शशि जी।
I now request Ms. Shilki Bhatia and her research associate Ms. Mitansha from Dias to present their paper.
Good morning everyone. Today, Mitansha Khosla. My name is Mitansha Khosla. I'm here I came from Dias and I'm here to present my paper on corporate social responsibility. And I would like to thank Shilki ma'am and Maharaja Agrasen Institute of Management for giving me the opportunity to present our work on this paper. Thank you so much. So, moving on, what is CSR? I believe everybody knows CSR stands for Corporate Social Responsibility. So, what's new in it? Is it a new terminology, or it is something that have been existed in our society for past couple of years? So let me clarify one thing, the philanthropic activities. It has been existed in our economy for a very, very long time. What's new is the CSR disclosure initiative. Now our government have mandated the CSR disclosure as well as the reporting of the same in their annual reports. So we can say that CSR is like the old wine in a new bottle. So it means that through this CSR disclosure, we'll try to maintain the balance of economic, social and environmental constraints for addressing concerns and expectations of stakeholders. So basically, it's our duty towards society by using ethical standard means. Therefore, the gist of CSR is nothing else but to focus on 3 P's, that is profit, planet and people. Moving on, so let me show you the various research reviews that have been provided by different researchers like Singh, Rajal, Sudhi, Singh, Goswami. These are the literature reviews through which we were able to frame our objectives. So basically, through our study, through our research, we tried to understand 3 main objectives. The first one is to understand the Indian and global regulatory guidelines for CSR reporting. The second objective that we examined is the social responsibility assumed by select Indian automotive companies and rate them as per the level of CSR reporting done by them. And the third objective was to examine the provisions of Companies Act 2013 pertaining to CSR initiatives. So basically what along with my mentor Shilki ma'am, we tried, we took the population of 492 Indian automotive companies who were listed, who satisfied the eligibility criteria as per the provision given by the Indian Company Act 2013. So the eligibility criteria were: first, the net profit of the company should be of 5 crore or more, and the second eligibility criteria was the net worth of 500 crore rupees or more, and the third one is the turnover of 1000 crore rupees or more. Out of the population size of 492 Indian automotive companies, 26 companies were the one who were listed in the Growers database and whose data was available, whose data as in whose disclosure regarding the CSR activities were available in the Growers as well as in the business journals as well as in different business research papers in their annual reports. Everything was available for the past 5 years. So, moving ahead, there are various global as well as Indian regulatory guidelines, Indian regulatory agencies or regulatory bodies who have given us a framework and guidelines that companies can imbibe for CSR reporting initiative, GRI, UN Global Compact, OECD, the National Voluntary CSR guidelines that have been provided by Ministry of Corporate Affairs. These were the guidelines that helped us to identify the CSR variables so that we could make a self-composed CSR disclosure index. So, coming on the CSR reporting guidelines, that under the global agencies we have GRI, G3, then UN, GC, ISO 26000, then accountability, AA 1000 insurance standards, and under Indian regulatory bodies we have National Voluntary Guidelines by Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Companies Act 2013, and Business Responsibility Report. GRI guidelines, basically let me give you a brief about these guidelines. The GRI guidelines gave 3 parameters, 3 performance indicators that show performance aspects basically on material like labor contracts, human rights and all. Apart from that, the NVG guidelines by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, they gave 9 principles, and ISO they gave 7 principles. Apart from that, UNGC they gave us 10 guidelines that help us to inculcate that helped us to imbibe CSR variables through which we were able to propose our disclosure index, CSR disclosure index. And this is one of the another agency, another regulatory body, accountability, AA 1000. So basically it helped us Okay, so the second objective of ours was the triple bottom line. We did a content analysis through which we were able to derive that out of the 26 Indian automotive companies, we were able to see the minute increase in the performances that they devoted towards the society, the CSR. The CSR activities, we could see economically, the economic disclosure, information disclosure index was way more than the social as well as the environmental information disclosure index. So here I'm here to say one more thing, that our third objective that was about the provisions of Companies Act. We have been given under the Companies Act, we have been provided by various provisions that helped us that helped the corporates to frame CSR disclosure in their annual reports as well as sustainability reports. So these are the criteria. So at the end, let me conclude by saying that we all know that profit still being the major motive of a business, it is very difficult to strike a balance between the conflicting needs of business of earning profit and societal needs. So it is imperative that business houses, they have to realign their priorities qualities on par within the societal needs and are expected to move ethically and responsibly. Thank you.
It is indeed our pleasure to have Shri Mohan Garg with us, whose continuous support and guidance has helped BAMES to reach new heights. Now I request Dr. V.K. Bhatnagar sir to extend a floral welcome to Shri Mohan Garg ji.
Please, lights on the stage. Lights on the stage required.
Now I request Shri Mohan Garg ji to extend a token of appreciation to Sir Ravindranath Mishra. It was a great pleasure to have you with us, sir. Thank you, sir, for your presence. Now we have Nisha ma'am with us, and she'll be giving her presentation. Thank you. Sorry, no mistake. Dr. Nisha and Dr. Neeru are here with us, and they will be giving their presentation. Good afternoon to all of you. Respected chairperson of the session, dignitaries present to the desk, faculties and dear student, I, Dr. Nisha Singh, with Dr. Neeru Gupta, presenting a paper titled Corporate Social Responsibility in Indian Small and Medium Enterprises. Yesterday, to till time, we are discussing corporate social responsibilities. Corporate social responsibilities involves interest balancing of stakeholders, suppliers, customers, governments. A good company maybe have features, good employees, advanced technology, but they have to do work on social responsibility also. Without social responsibility, our organizations cannot run long term. They should follow the government norms to do this. Profit earning may be one main aspect of their work, but they have to do social responsibility also. Big organizations are more concerned about social corporate responsibilities, but small and medium enterprises are still nascent stages. They have to work on this, but they are saying they have less workers, not skilled managers, they have no good equipments, they are not skilled people, they have no training departments. That's why they are not spending their benefits to their employees. But if they want to run long-term survival, they have to do some work on corporate social responsibilities. We have go through various research papers, and we conclude that we have various dimensions of social responsibilities, but basically two responsibilities are more in practices. This is internal practices and external practices. If I'm talking about the internal practices, organizations are working for training, workshops, seminars for their employee skills. And if I'm talking the external practices, You have to work for the stakeholders, suppliers, governments, and these are very important for every organizations. Now, Dr. Neeru with me, and he will take over the further paper. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Now, the objectives of the study. There are basically three main objectives of the study. The very first is to examine the internal CSR practices in Indian SMEs. Second one, to examine the external CSR practices in Indian SMEs. And the third one is to identify the area where SMEs can be more socially responsible. To carry out these, to fulfill these objectives, our research methodology has been adopted. Total 30 companies, 30 small and medium enterprises has been selected on the basis of the CRISIL rating in 2014. The companies which are having the CRISIL rating of 1 and 2 and from Delhi and NCR area has been selected as a sample. The instrument for the study was the questionnaire. The questionnaire is divided into three main parts. In the very first part, the company profile has been studied. In the second part, the internal CSR practices has been studied. And the third part contains the external CSR practices of SMEs. In the analysis and results, firstly the company profile has been analyzed and it was found that all are the private sector companies and having the employees base of 100 and more. All the companies are running their business at the national and international level, and all the sample 20 companies out of these companies having their CSR practices at the national level and remaining at the national and international level. In the internal CSR practices adopted by small and medium enterprises, it was found that all SMEs are offering employees provident funds to their employees, but only 40% of the SMEs are investing in training and development program of their employees along with the employees provident fund. Only 20 to 30% or 20 to 25% small and medium enterprises are involved in running welfare activities such as maternity plan, paternity plan, insurance policies, loan facilities, etc. All SMEs are having the employees feedback mechanism, but very few of them are having the grievance redressal mechanism and the dispute resolution mechanism, which is the need of today's corporate world. 70% of the companies are assisting in health and wellness program of their employees. Only 10 to 15% of the companies are involved in providing management and advisory services to their employees for their career development, and almost 75% of the SMEs are having their internal anti-corruption cell. Under the external CSR practices adopted by Indian SMEs, it is found that although employees are very much involved in the CSR practices, but the other stakeholders like the shareholders, like the customers and governments are not very much involved in the CSR initiatives of the small and medium enterprises. Referring to the assistance provided to the local community in the last 5 years, it is found that most of the small and medium enterprises are indulged in charity, donation, etc. and very few of them are indulged in other programs like infrastructure development and the projects development of the society. SMEs are having proper complaint reporting system in their organizations because employees and the customer feedback is a very important tool in today's era. They have the complaint feedback and complaint reporting system in their organization so that the customer can put their complaints and the company can get resolution of these complaints. Only 20 to 30% of the SMEs are engaged in one or more environmental programs such as solid waste, pollution control and rain harvesting, etc. And these are undertaken only for the purpose that is to take competitive advantage and to access to the capital market. On the basis of these findings, there are some suggestions and conclusion is that it is suggested to the companies that SMEs should focus on running benefits. Running benefits means the benefits which gives a regular benefits to the companies like maternity plan, paternity plans, insurance policies, pension funds, etc. This will uplift the performance of the business and the reputation of the business in the mind of the consumer and the society. SMEs can use online portals and blogs to let the employees free to put their grievances and can handle them and get a quick response of their grievances. They may have a free flow of communication with their board of directors and the senior people of the management to get their advice on their internal disputes. SMEs should focus on some development projects such as schools development, hospital buildings, roads and transport development, etc. SMEs that they should undertake some environmental friendly programs to curb the pollution problem, marketing, green marketing, waste management, rain harvesting, etc. It is concluded that although the SMEs are not very much involved in CSR practices because of their some limitations, they have lack of funds, they have limited resources, they are having the lack of technical know-how. But instead of all these things, it can enrich the SME community if they adopt the CSR practices. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Anybody having any kind of queries, kindly ask. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now we have come to the end of this session. I would like to thank all the panelists for sparing their time and sharing the valuable insights. Thank you all for being with us in the session.
Welcome back. Please get settled down. We are about to start our next session. Please call all your friends, colleagues to come and report to auditorium. We are just about to start our session and our director, Professor M.K. Bhatt, is reaching in a short while.
To deliberate on this model, we have Dr. N. Malati, the chairperson of the session, Mr. Sebastian Sir, and Mr. Vijay Khurana Sir. May I please request them to come and take their place on the dais.
पवन गुरु पानी पिता माता तरत महत दिवस रात दुई दाई दया खेले सगल जगत छंगियाइयां बुरियाइयां वाजे तरम हदूर करनी आपो आप के नेड़े के दूर. Meaning, air is the guru, water is the father, earth is a great mother of all. Day and night are two nurses in whose lap all the world is apt to play. Good deeds and bad deeds, the record is read out in the presence of the Lord of Dharma. According to their own action, some are drawn closer and some are farther away. When industrialization emerged, businesses believed in one point agenda that was profit, profit and profit alone. They, in the spirit of Kabir Das Doha, Ek hi sadhe, sab sadhe, work towards reaping more and more profit to the neglect of people and planet. But this one point of agenda of profit has failed, and now we have a new model, the 3 P's model.
Mahatma Gandhi once rightly said, "The earth provides enough to satisfy every man's need, but not every man's greed." The triple bottom line is a term coined in 1990s by the influential business thinker and consultant John Elkington. It is also known as the 3 P's model, which embraces people, planet and profit. It captures a very neat idea that a modern organization has 3 broad areas of impact, that is, economic, social and environmental. It would therefore capture not just the financial bottom line, that is, profit or loss, but also the social and environmental impacts of the corporate activities. The influence of the triple bottom line, both positive and baleful, is considerable. It is almost widespread, especially in and around discussions of what sustainability means for a business. It suggests that an organization should be accountable for its financial, social, and environmental performances. Without question, the balance of power on planet Earth today lies in the hands of the business. If a value-driven approach to business can begin to redirect this vast power towards more constructive ends than just accumulation of wealth, the human race and planet Earth will have a fighting chance. To deliberate on this topic, we have our delegates. I now request Ms. Ravinder Cheet ma'am to present a floral welcome to Mr. Sebastian. Mr. Sebastian Sir is the founder and chairman of Masterminds World Trade Business Solution Limited, launched in 2014. Academically, he holds a postgraduate degree in Master of Applied Sciences in Printing and Technology Publishing Science from Mahatma Gandhi University, Kottayam, Kerala State. He has been involved in training, coaching and consulting for more than 8 years with the objective of substantially increasing income, productivity and performance of the people.
May I introduce the chairperson of the session, Dr. N. Malati ma'am. Dr. N. Malati is currently working as Professor and Director at Delhi Institute of Advanced Studies, a primary institution affiliated Guru Gobind Singh Institute, Indraprastha University. She has been associated with the institute since 1999 and has held various positions. She has formerly worked as a management trainee at Cipla Pharmaceuticals and as a lecturer at Siddhartha College of Arts and Commerce. She has over 17 years of teaching and research experience and 1 year corporate experience. She completed her doctorate from University of Rajasthan, Jaipur, and MBA from Andhra University, Andhra Pradesh. Her area of specialization in teaching and research are marketing and human resource management. She has more than 2,000 articles in national and international journals of repute to her credit. She is also a member of All India Management Association and Center for Education, Growth and Research. Ma'am, a very hearty warm welcome to you. May I request Dr. Manju Gupta ma'am to please present a floor welcome to Dr. N. Malati ma'am.
We also have with us Dr. Vijay Khurana sir. May I please request Vinita Gupta ma'am to come on stage and present a bouquet of flowers to Mr. Vijay Khurana sir. Mr. Vijay Khurana sir is currently working as a professor at MAIMS. He has 14 years of industrial experience and 17 years of teaching experience. He is editor and editor-in-chief of 4 research journals. He has written many research papers. He is officiated as a director of 3 renowned institutes and has also written a book titled Management, Technology, Innovation and Change. Sir, it's an honor to have you with us. To begin with this technical session, we have students from our institute from MBA first year with their presentations. First, may I invite Neha Goyal and Mansi Sharma. The topic of their presentation is Corporate Governance and the P3 Model.
Good afternoon all. I extend a very warm welcome to all the guests we have with us for the day. So I am here to keep you engaged for a few minutes. So here we go. Corporate governance, as we have discussed a number of times during this 2-day venture, is a system by which business corporations are directed and controlled. The basic question which arises is why corporate governance? Let's look at some of its benefits. It is evident that investors will not be willing to invest in companies that are popular for its frauds and corruption. The protection provided to companies by law helps, but it's certainly not enough to fill in all the loopholes. Corporate governance helps foreign investors to link to the framework of companies. Now let us come to the term public-private partnership, which is often abbreviated as P3. As you can see, the definitions of public-private partnerships can be many, but we'll keep it simple. Public-private partnership is a system in which government service is operated through the collaboration of government and one or more private sector companies. This brings in operational efficiency and divides resources and risks. Now let us discuss why P3. Companies face insufficiency in various aspects like capital, inadequate infrastructure and technical know-how. The Rajiv Gandhi Super Speciality Hospital located in Karnataka is a joint venture of the Government of Karnataka and the Apollo Hospitals Group with financial support from the OPEC. The basic reason for establishing the partnership was to give super speciality healthcare at a low cost to the people below poverty line. How is P3 beneficial? We all know the difference in infrastructure of government and private buildings. Private sector has mostly proved its efficiency by its management potential. Gurgaon is a perfect example of large-scale P3 in urban development in India.
Next comes the types of P3. There are a lot of types of P3, but we will discuss the most important and popular among a lot. So, the first one is contracting. In this, public sector contract with a private company to design and build public facility. The facility is conducted by the private company, however, the ownership remains with the public sector. This type is suited for the small ventures and where public sector wishes to keep the operating responsibility with them. For example, Sawai Meen Singh Hospital, Jaipur has established Lifeline Fluid Drug Store to contract out low-cost, high-quality medicines and surgical items on a 24-hour basis inside the hospital. The hospital provides all the medicines to drug stores and the contractor has power to purchase and sell by himself. The next type is BOT, that is Build, Operate, Transfer. As compared to contracting type, the public sector transfer the operating responsibility to private sector in addition to the design and construction risk. This is particularly opted for water and waste projects. And the third type is DBFO, that is Design, Build, Finance, Operate. In this type, public sector contract with a private party to design, build, operate and also finance a facility for a definite period, after which the facility reverts to the public sector and the ownership have with the private sector for the contract period only. This type is opted for roads, water and waste projects. And the last type is concession. Here, the private sector is fully responsible for full delivery of services including operation, maintenance, collection, management, construction and further rehabilitation of the system. So, in this, the public sector's role shifts from being service provider to regulating the price and quality of service. Next is the conclusion. So, we see that P3 is a relationship between public and private sector to deliver an output. Nowadays, P3 is actively considered for long-term sustainability. Now, we will recollect all the facts discussed in the past 10 minutes by playing this AV. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Neha and Mansi. May I request Alisha Chugh to give a presentation on topic PPP in urban water sector.
A very good afternoon to all of you present here. I, Alisha, am here to discuss the topic PPP, that is Public-Private Partnership, specifically in urban water sector in India. I am going to discuss what is PPP, that is P3, why do we need PPP, why do we need P3, types of P3, how it all started, reasons for success and failures of various projects, and will conclude with an international case study. P3 is an agreement between government and private sector for the purpose of providing public infrastructure, community facilities and related services. So, why there is a need of PPP? We need P3 because it increases the efficiency in project delivery. It improves operation and management. It gives access to the advanced technology. There are 4 types of PPP: supply and management contract, turnkey, affirmage and concessions. They all differ in different things like time period, complexity, investment and other factors. Why P3 is all about? What PPP? How it arose? P3 were introduced in 1992 in UK and then it encouraged and implemented around the world. In India, P3 model was first followed in the power sector and thereafter it expanded to other sectors like urban water supply. In case of urban water supply, prior 2010, trend was primarily BOT, that is build, operate, transfer with 100% private financing. But post 2010, the operation of contracts are a mix of concession agreements, BOT projects and management contracts. This is the data I have collected from the different sources. You can see here in the 5th thing, PPP model, that there was 100% BOT in 1990s, whereas 2005 onwards, 38% was management contract and 62% was BOT. Also, we can see from the data that number of projects attempted in 1990s were only 5, whereas it increased to 13 from 2005 onwards. Project scope have also changed from just bulk water supply to wide range of projects as mentioned. Here is a list of some major factors in the field of water supply and the reasons why these projects were a good success. Reasons can be public funding, strong project need, stakeholder support and reduced revenue risk. It varies from project to project according to the need. As some projects succeeded, some projects failed also. Reasons for that varies from lack of support at state level to lack of capital to lack of employee engagement. Let us see the relevance. Let us see what we have discussed so far, that is PPP. Let us see how it applies in the international case study. Overview, I'll discuss with you. Senegal case study, it is an international case study. Let me first give you the overview of the case. In this, only 54% of the population, Senegal population, had access to the safe water. So here arose a need of water supply management. So what government did? Government entered into a 10-year affirmage contract with the Senegalese Dare Cause, which was formed specifically for the production and the distribution of water. How did it affect Senegal population? It affected water production increased by 18% with 81,000 new connections and 400 standpipes. What are the key outcomes of the PPP? Key outcomes of the PPP are more water to more people, better financial help, positive change in tariff. Key factors. What were the key factors for the successful implementation in Senegal? First key factor was right choice of the type of contract. Government analyzed which contract was needed and it entered into that at the right time. Second was strong political will and leadership. And third one was the operations and the management functions were clearly defined. Thank you so much for your precious time.
Thank you, Alicia. May I please request Mr. Sebastian Sir to come and share his views with us.
Good afternoon all. Respected chairperson and the dignitaries, teachers, thank you very much for inviting me here. Actually, I am the wrong person in the right company, I think, because it's the first time I'm coming in an institute like this and sharing my views like this. I have trained in different colleges and institutes, but now never I came such a platform like this. So about the subject here today we are going to discuss, it is sustainable corporate governance. I have very few ideas about that. I have met a lot of people. I am a member of one particular group called FM Zone, which is a corporate, around 700 corporate chairpersons are involved in that. I am coming from a separate background, so my language is entirely different. So just I will try to communicate in a proper way which is possible for me. First of all, I congratulate you for having such a wonderful initiative about this particular subject. And when I think about, I have a very good experience in business and worked very less in corporate side. I have worked with Standard Chartered, HSBC and ICICI and Roche. I have seen many companies fail and many companies rise up due to some reasons. And when I think about that reason, the three reasons which is coming into me into my mind is ethics, values, and principle. And I have run a business in Kerala. I was a franchisee owner of Aptech and NIT. I had 4 institutes, and I lost the business in 2001. And only because of one thing, I could not keep my ethics, values, and principle in terms of towards my colleagues, employees, and plus to the clients like my students. And there are many factors which had come to my fall in the business. And when we discuss about this sustainable factor, there is a workflow. When you go to the corporate, I think mostly what you want to face there, that you're going to face. In a power of attraction, basically we say what we want, we become, that we become. Have you heard about power of attraction? I hope so. So the same way, when I meet a lot of people, if you ask anyone about the corporate sustainable governance and everything, anything, they will know corporate is mostly satisfied with what is happening in the corporate. So I think company and plus the staff, the factor which is most important for the success of the company, has to rethink about the changes. When I think about the sustainable corporate governance, I think about Apple. When I think about the values and principle, I think about Apple, which started their franchisee subcontract, which was given in China. They appointed a lot of child laborers, and due to that, the sales ratio was fall down. So I'm not going to talk about this particular incident much. Only one thing, the ethics what they were supposed to practice, they could not keep it up. That's the reason what they faced there. So my dear friends, I just want to tell you one thing. I came from a different background of a farmer's son, studied in Malayalam medium, came into Delhi, started my career as a door-to-door marketing person. Today running a team of almost 15,000 people in 16 states. Only because of one thing, I could learn from my experience how to sustain these factors which has to be there in a company. So once you enter, it is like, gooseberry, avala. So when you enter, it will be totally different taste, and once you experience, it will be totally different taste. Actually, by experience only we can come to this part. So I have trained around 30,000 people in workshops, and I have trained around 1 lakh people in 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour sessions in North India from last 8 years. And the person who is more tough, ready to change, in every case, they are going ahead. So in corporate, I want to tell you only one thing. It was a sudden call for me in this. Today morning I received a call. You had to come, I just came here. That's the reason I first said, I'm the wrong person in the right company. Whatever way, I just want to tell you, you are in the right institute. Just learn about Maharaja Agrasen. His some specialities was there. Honesty, principle, ethics, values, everything he had practiced. Even ahimsa was practiced by him first. And just be ready, and 100% you can be a very big change for some of the major companies in India and outside, and you will be one of the icons in that company. This is guarantee. I'll meet you soon. This is what I want to just share you. Thank you very much for this.
Respected Director Sir, dear faculty colleagues and dear students, a very good afternoon to all of you. As all of you are aware, sustainability is very important. One of the major issues facing the nation and this organization is how to run business in a sustainable manner. In this connection, I remember in one of our scriptures, it is written what a good governance is all about. It says, companies should work like honeybee. What a honeybee does? It collects nectar from the flowers. Does it damage the environment? No. Does it do any harm to anyone? No. It simply collects the nectar for its own usage and for the usage of mankind. So, if organizations have to work in a sustainable manner, they should follow what a honeybee does. So only then we can ensure a sustainable future for this nation. Then one of our own Ramayana, in Ramayana we always talk about Ram Rajya. What Ram Rajya is all about? It is about good governance. So it is mentioned in the Ramayana, good governance means bringing maximum happiness to maximum people for maximum time. 3 issues these have been emphasized. One is maximum happiness. Second is to maximum people and for maximum time. Now, many researches have been carried out to explore how we can generate happiness for the masses. In fact, in our management programs also we teach that whatever we are doing, it should be win-win strategy for everyone. So same is applicable for good corporate governance also. Organizations, whatever they are doing, they need to ensure that it is win-win for themselves also and for all the stakeholders. This could be one of the actions which we can take. Second one is being proactive. We know the world is facing impact of climate change. Global warming is there. Climate has become uncertain. Sometimes we have got strong winters, and sometimes summer is also temperatures are very high. Then how? So we cannot afford to be reactive. So same is applicable in the context of good corporate governance also. We need to be proactive in dealing with the expectations of the society. Only then we can have sustainable corporate governance. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Vijay Khurana, sir. Now may I request Dr. N. Malti to please address the audience. May I now request Vinita ma'am to extend a memento to Mr. Sebastian, sir. Now, may I request Dr. N. Malti to share her valuable insights with us?
Very good afternoon to one and all present here. I know the most difficult thing is to be sitting in an auditorium listening to presentations after a sumptuous lunch. I understand that you have been put to a lot of trouble, and it's also a Saturday evening, so it doubles up. So we would not talk about or try to extend this too long. I would try to make it as short and crisp as possible so that we don't want to have any more trouble being given to you. Okay. At the outset, I thank the organizers of the conference for providing me an opportunity to be here to listen to the presentations that did take place and also to share some of my insights on the topic. To start off with, I would like to give my suggestions to the paper presenters. And before moving on to the suggestions, first, congratulations to the students who presented the papers. There was a lot of effort which was made, which was visible. And I suppose this has been their first presentation. So kudos for them to come over onto the stage and address a gathering as large as this. The first presentation talked about the public-private partnership and the corporate governance and the the P3 models. The presentation again discussed in detail about the various driving forces and how this model would be beneficial, what could be the most commonly found types of P3, and what kind of, there have been certain reasons for the success as well as the failure for the PPP model, in the PPP model. And later on went on to discuss the international case study. The corporate guest again emphasized on one important aspect, that is the values and principles. He said how over a period of time the values which have changed, how they have contributed to the detrimental growth of the organizations, and emphasized upon how certain principles become most important and they have to be adhered to.